Alright, so I'm doing my assignment on objectification, and not just on chapter 9, but I wanted to address how the idea of objectification ties into other chapters. I didn't necessarily fully agree with Kant's idea of objectification or Nussbaum's idea of objectification wholly, but I think that Nussbaum's is more inclusive, and for that reason, I'm going to be using her ideas for this argument. The first chapter I want to tie it into is Keegan's chapter in chapter 8, where he talks about self-deception and particularly the idea of the Redskins and their team name and logo. I think the controversy with the Redskins fits into a couple categories of Nussbaum's definitions of objectivity. First is the denial of subjectivity and the fact that the Redskins ownership does not respect the past experiences and the feelings of the Native American people. And also, I think more subjectively the idea of fungibility, in that they think the name Redskins is on the same level and almost just interchangeable with names like Cowboys, Giants, Jets, which is again extremely offensive. Another chapter that ties into it is chapter 10. I think for more obvious reasons, talks about Vita Guerra, J-Lo, and the idea of coolocentrism, which she makes up. And again, this is kind of objectifying for obvious reasons. Most notably of Nussbaum's ideas is the idea of instrumentality, basically because the article addresses how women and women's butts in general are just a tool for men's pleasure. So I think it's easy to see how this could be considered objectification. And also, just for argument's sake, I think that these ideas in chapter 10 reflect more closely the ideas from Kant, mainly because Kant's definition of objectivity deals more specifically with sex. And the last chapter that coincides, I think, with objectivity is chapter 7, in which they talk about the ideas of pro-life versus pro-choice. And again, I think the denial of subjectivity ties into this chapter just because it seems that people are attempting to make decisions for women as if they don't have a mind of their own, and I think that's a perfect example of Nussbaum's definition of denial of subjectivity.